Peah Perek Dalid, Mishnah Yud. I want to dedicate our learning today to the memory of all of the soldiers. This is, as I'm giving this year, it's the evening of Yom HaZikaron, and we're going to dedicate our learning to the memory of all those soldiers and people who suffered and gave their lives in acts of terror on behalf of the Jewish people. Okay. Until now, we've been learning about Peah. Where Peah, when Peah, how often, how's Peah done, how many fields, 1 field, 2 fields. But Peah isn't the only matnot aniyim, the only gift to the aniyim. We've all been reading that's Peah. Leket kitzircha lo tilaket. This is from Vayikra Perek Yud Tet. Leket kitzircha. Leket is lilaket, means to harvest. The harvest of your field you should not harvest. But obviously means something a little bit deeper than that. If we look in the English translation, it translates, neither shalt thou gather the gleaning of thy harvest, the leket, the gleaning. But leket, gleaning is the harvest itself, so obviously it means something different. What are you not allowed to take? Which is what the Mishnah is going to discuss. Says the Mishnah, Ezehu leket, what is leket? So in order to understand what leket is, we first also have to sort of have an understanding, I was going to try to move myself. How do they harvest? So if you the way the commentators explain, the way I could understand it, the way they harvest is like this. You have, let's zoom a little down here, okay, so you can see me better. Okay, the farmer would grab a bundle of wheat, okay, and with his scythe, magal it's called, okay, he would grab the wheat, and with his scythe he would then cut it, and then he would have the cut wheat in his hand. And then he would put it down, and then that would be a bundle, okay? And grab wheat, cut, and put it down, okay? And that's what he would have that's what he would do in order to, this process would continue. Grab, cut, okay? So leket, and that is his harvest. So obviously that doesn't go to the ani. So the Mishnah wonders, Ezehu leket. What is leket? Hanosher b'shak tzira. That which nosher falls off b'shak tzira. So when he's cutting, he grabs, he cuts, and something falls out. Okay? So this is what the Mishnah says. Hayakotzer, katsar malo yado. If he cut malo yado, he's cutting the amount that fills his hand. Or talash malo kumtso. Kometz is the amount that he can hold in his palm. Or let's say he's not cutting, it's a crop that he pulls out. It's potatoes, it's whatever. It's different kinds. There are different kinds of harvests. The different kind of produce had different kinds of harvests. Okay, in that case, hikahu kots v'nafal miyado la'aretz, and he scrapes his hand, and then let's say for example, so I don't know, let me see if I can find something here. There we go. Okay, so he's holding on to his, he cuts, here we are, cuts, and now he's got the grain, and then he scratches himself with whatever, and it falls off. Okay, says the Mishnah. Harei zeh shel ba'al habayit. Why? That's called an onus. That's not leket. Leket is if I cut, right, and then a grain or two. I'm holding on to my wheat. I cut, and then it slips out. That's leket. But if I have an onus, if something caused me to lose the produce for a reason that's not part of the cutting process, not part of the harvesting process, that is shel ba'al habayit. That's not considered leket that you have to leave for the aniyim. So the Mishnah continues. Toch hayad v'toch hamagal la'aniyim. If something falls, this phrase is very, very hard to understand. I spent a lot of time trying to understand what it means. So I can't explain it necessarily. This one is easy. Toch hayad v'toch hamagal. If it fell from in his hand, okay, and it falls off. Or toch hamagal. It's on the scythe. Meaning what that means is in the cutting process. If it falls out in the cutting process and it falls on the ground, that's la'aniyim. But achar hayad ve'achar hamagal leba'al habayit. If it's achar hayad and achar hamagal, literally means after or beyond, on the back of the hand or the back of the scythe. What it means really is if it's not part of the cutting process, if it's after the cutting process, if it's not in your hand, okay, it fell off for some other reason. Now the word achar yad means in the back of your hand. It doesn't really mean that. Ve'achar hamagal. Okay, it really just means that if it's not part of the normal cutting process. I should just note that the Mishnah Eretz Yisrael, he says, Achar hayad and achar hamagal is that which is left on the ground and wasn't cut. in the scythe cutting process. That's not leket. That might be shikha, but it's certainly not leket. So he says that belongs to the balabait. Doesn't belong to the ani. I want to point out also, toch hayad v'toch hamagal aniyim. Okay, if it falls out, that's true. Achar hayad ve'achar magal balabait. There's a huge machloket. Is it achar hayad or achar hamagal, or achar hayad and achar hamagal? Must it have both conditions for it to belong to the balabait, or must it have either condition for it to belong to the balabait? And that depends on how you understand what it means, achar hayad v'achar magal, whether it falls out of the hand, not through the cutting process, or it falls from the cutting, not from the cutting motion, but the scythe kind of pushes it out. I guess it's a little bit unclear. I haven't really seen a clear explanation of what it means. If you look at the Bartanura, he says achar hayad nosher me'achar hayad minidud yado, from the movement of his hand afterwards. U'me'achar magal mikoach tenu'at hamagal, from the movement of the scythe, but not from the cutting. That goes to the balabait. Why? He says de'ein dezerech tzira. If it's not in the process of cutting derech tzira, then it belongs to if that's not considered regular part of the process, and it belongs to the bal habayit. Okay? Rosh hayad v'rosh hamagal. So if it's from the Kahati explains here that we're talking about roshei etzba'otav, that if it falls off the edge of the tips of his fingers, okay, or right, 1 second, rosh hamagal, okay, or if it fell off the edge of the magal. Again, it's a little bit unclear. It seems to be some sort of, so in between, it's the end of the cutting process, or part of the scythe kind of interrupted, and it's not. It's sort of yes, sort of no. It's a little bit unclear what exactly we're speaking about here. Okay. Says the Mishnah, that's a machloket. Rabbi Yishmael omer la'aniyim. So Yishmael says in this case, it belongs to the aniyim. And Rabbi Kiva omer le'bal habayit. Rabbi Kiva says in this case, rosh hayad, rosh hamagal goes to the bal habayit. In any case, what we learn from this is leket is what we said, nosher b'shak tzira, that which falls off from the farmer during the farming process, during the harvesting and cutting process, not from some external cause. That is what goes to the aniyim during the harvest, and not any part of your regular crop. Again, we wanted to dedicate this learning in the memory of those soldiers and victims of terror who have given their lives for Klal Yisrael. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to email me, rspolter@gmail.com. Have a good day.